Today, I'm gonna let you in on the menopause secrets method. And with a lot of hard work, with a lot of dedication, with a lot of time put into this, I actually have to tell you that I'm super happy to share this with you right here, right now. I'm happy to have you here. It's about 30 minutes of your time to learn about the menopause secrets. And there are so many women out there who are hoping for a pill, a quick fix, something that will help them into the transition. Whether you are in perimenopause, whether you are in menopause, whether you are in post-menopause, this is information that we need to share with each other, with your fellow sisters, with your friends, with your family. Even if you are in your 20s and early 30s, this is information that might actually help you in the transition that awaits us all if we're blessed enough to live past our 40s, right? I'm gonna tell you right here, if you're thinking that this is gonna be a quick fix, if you're thinking that this is gonna be a pill that I'm offering you, no. This is a method that actually works. Why? Because it brings us back into our female path. So without me, giving too much away, I actually have a beautiful presentation for you today. Yay! It's gonna be easier, with all of the visual effects. All right. Live life to the fullest during menopause and regain your full energy in 90 days or less. This is what it's all about, a method that has been created to work for you, not against you. How to deal with weight gain, mood swings, hot flashes, and insomnia during perimenopause and menopause without expensive medication, HRT, and crazy workouts. Is there such a method? Yes, there is. And I am so excited to share it with you. So let's dive in. All right, let's start with the modern medicine. Modern medicine doesn't see the woman as a whole. And I talk about this very, very often. Modern medicine has been designed on male bodies, not on female bodies. Do you know that majority of the studies, they are made on the bodies to create medication are not done on female bodies, they're done on male bodies. And let's just be very frank here. We women are not men, right? We have a different physiology, our body is different, our hormones are different. So why does modern medicine make studies on men instead on women? Because the female body is too unpredictable. We have too many phases. We have a 28-day cycle instead of a 24-hour cycle. And this makes us unpredictable and hard to make studies on. So guess what? All of the pills out there, the patches out there, even the HRT, they're actually not made on female bodies, for female bodies. They are made for male bodies. Isn't that weird? So how come modern medicine does this? And then we go around, feel so lost in this transition because the medicine is not made for us. And what is the big mistake? The big mistake is that they treat us as many versions of men. And I'm gonna say it again, our cycle is 28 days, not 24 hours. We have 4 phases in one cycle. And this is why it becomes so hard for modern medicine to conduct these studies, and they give up on us instead of diving deeper. Because back in the days, there was no prestige with helping women with female problems and issues. So they put us to the side. And it's still something that we women have to battle with every single day. When with that said, what is the solution that I'm giving you right here? Well, my friends, is a holistic and natural approach. And why? do I believe it works? Well, we're going to cover how hormones actually affect your life, the importance of a strong mindset during this transition, and why falling in love with yourself is the key. And no doctor is going to give you a pill for that, let me tell you this. So I'm going to ask you here, do you resonate with these questions? Do you recognize yourself? Are you tired of your own body working against you and not for you? Yes or no? Let me know. Do you feel lost and misunderstood? Do you resonate with that? Do you feel like you're losing control over your life? Oh, God knows that I have been there. Are you going through any of these symptoms? Maybe hot flashes, weight gain, skin disorders, sleep disorders, brain fog, irregular periods, feeling tired, low energy, memory loss, fatigue, faints, thyroid, circulatory problems, vaginal dryness? Any one of these? So let's start by understanding why these physical symptoms come up in perimenopause and menopause, because this is one of the keys to understanding. And a lot of women, when they hit perimenopause and all of these issues are starting to happen in the bodies, these small symptoms that are showing up of crazy fatigue, right? That's usually one of the first things, crazy fatigue, that you have low energy. No one really understands, and when you go to the doctor, what will happen majority of the times is that they're probably going to take some blood tests, maybe prescribe you the wrong medication, but they are not going to see perimenopause as one of the reasons for you being so tired. Hormones are the key. They function in your body to keep balance. And when we understand that hormones are there to work for us and not against us, we can start to balance our own hormones. And balance is the key. I love this word. Balance is the key. Modern medicine, it made us believe that we needed this pill, a patch, or cream to solve these problems. Our hormones, let's just be honest here, are they really a problem? Or are they trying to tell us something? And I'm going to take you back now, take you back to your time when you went through puberty. Well, puberty is a hormonal fluctuation in the body. Was it conceived as a disease? No, it was not, because we see puberty as a normal phase in a person's time. It's something that we need to go through naturally, and our hormones are fluctuating during that time. So why is menopause and perimenopause being conceived as a disease? Symptoms are actually our body's ways of telling us that something is not balanced. I'm going to say that again. Symptoms are our body's way of telling us that something is not balanced. And I'm going to tell you again here, my friend, that if you're having symptoms, do you know that it's actually not something that you need to have? So what do we actually need to do? We need to get back to our natural path. Stop putting your body through habits like you did in your 20s. A lot of my clients, they come to me and they say, I keep doing this, I keep exercising, and I keep eating right, and I keep doing all of the things that I've always done, but all of a sudden this is not working anymore. And I'm like, because you're still treating your body as though you're in your 20s or early 30s. And I'm gonna tell you right here and right now, this is one of the biggest reasons you're probably going through all of these symptoms. Because at one stage, our body is gonna transition, our body is gonna go through that next phase. And through that next phase, we're gonna need to treat our body as the age we're actually in, as the phase that we're actually in. So what can we do? It's time for us to install new healthy habits that will help you regulate your hormones, and also to bring your high cortisol, which is a stress hormone, down. How to regulate those estrogen and progesterone levels. So it's time for you to really dig deep and ask yourself, what am I doing still that I did in my 20s that my body doesn't want me to do? When was the last time you actually listened to your body, you tapped in, and you recognized that, maybe this isn't working for me anymore? Like, for example, good habits equals good life. We know this. And you're probably saying to me, but Monica, I do exercise. Monica, I do eat healthy. But do you exercise the right way? And is there a right way? Yes, because if your hormones are not balanced, if your hormones are out of balance, the exercise, the key is not to exercise like you were in your 20s. It's not high intensity cardio. It's not high intensity interval training. It is actually strength training. Also low impact classes like Pilates, yoga, dancing. All of that is going to help you regulate your cortisol levels, because cortisol, that stress hormone, that is the one that is messing up your hormonal balance. And you're like, oh, I will never be able to jog again. Yes, you will, but it's all about you coming back into balance. When you've come back into balance and your body is back into balance, then of course you can start incorporating some of the things back into your life. The question is, are you going to want to? Or are you going to dive into that strength training, which is proven to show that it helps us with muscle recruitment, muscle fiber recruitment, with keeping our blood circulation flowing, removing all of those nasty toxins from our tissue, from our blood vessels. Strength training, my friends, whether it is moderate, heavy, whether it is lightweight, resistance training, this is the key to bringing your cortisol levels down. And then we have nutrition. Yeah, it's time for you to remove all of those sugars, that processed food, go, 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 and even those fast carbs. Protein is key. And I'm going to give you a fun little tip right here. Protein before caffeine. Do you know what happens when you drink a cup of coffee? The first thing that you're doing, you're waking up from a night, you're already dehydrated, because that's what's happening when you go to sleep, right? You sleep during a long period of time, you wake up, your body is dehydrated. So we need to hydrate the body. We need to bring what? Water. That's the first thing. Then the second thing should not be coffee, because what does caffeine do? It dehydrates you. And not only that, it stresses the body. So it brings up the cortisol. So the fun tip here is what? Protein before caffeine. So if you can give yourself a protein-rich breakfast with maybe eggs before you go and grab your coffee first, you're gonna start regulating those cortisol levels. I was one of those who was intermittent fasting in the way as a man does. When I stopped doing that, when I started to fast instead like a woman and not as a man, I realized that I cannot fast in the morning, and I cannot have a morning where I'm only relying on coffee and nothing else, because it stresses my body. It brings up the cortisol level. So I started implementing having my breakfast before I have my coffee. Boom, what happened? That stubborn belly fat, it slowly but surely started to disappear. My energy levels slowly but surely started to come back. It is one of the biggest keys in regulating your hormones, my friend. And then sleep. Now this might sound rough, but you're not a hero for sleeping 4 to 5 hours. We women need somewhere between 8 to 12 hours. And of course, you need to listen to your body. You need to listen to your body and do what you feel is right. But if you are in a hormonal imbalance, it is time for you to regulate it by sleeping the hours that the body needs. And during a hormonal imbalance, it is 8 to 12 hours to bring yourself back into your natural balance path. So, covering the body. Did you know that menopause actually starts in the brain? It doesn't start in the ovaries like we might think. It starts with the brain. Bear with me. I'm going to take you from something really interesting right now. The brain fog that we're feeling when we're hitting that perimenopause and menopause state is actually caused by neurons losing connection between one another. And don't worry, I'm not going to go too medically deeply into this, but I want you to understand the connection here. Think of old telephone lines being cut. When you cut an old telephone line, it doesn't matter if you pick up the phone and you start talking, the person on the other side will not hear you, right? And it's exactly the same thing with the neurons. When we cut the cord between those neurons and they start talking to each other, we get the brain fog. And this is also how the perimenopause starts. So, what is the key here? Eating anti-inflammatory foods, because the brain loves anti-inflammatory foods. Healthy brain equals healthy body. When your brain is fed with power food, and neurons are going to come back to each other, going to start connecting and talking to each other again, and that brain fog is slowly going to disappear and you will start feeling revitalized and recharged again. Another thing that we need to do during this transition, because it gets really easy going into that victim mode, going into that feeling of constantly feeling lost and tired, constantly feeling like you cannot do this. Reframing negative thought patterns. Have you noticed the way that you talk about yourself? Yeah, maybe it's time for you to change that pattern. So switching also from that victim mode into creator mode. What does that mean? It means that life is not happening to you. You are creating your life path. So the way you think is affecting the way that you live. And reframing negative thought patterns, it's something that a doctor won't tell you either, but it's one of the biggest keys of how we can help ourselves transition through this state. And life management, when that brain fog dissipates, when it goes away, it's going to be all about how you manage your time, how you manage your life with the state of being in the creator mode, that life is not happening for you, you are creating your own life journey. So focus on your mindset by reframing your negative thought patterns, switch from victim mode to creator mode, and finally be able to take that control over your life, so that you have that mental clarity, that patience and focus to organize your life and focus on yourself and fill your own cup. How many of you are actually filling everyone else's cup before your own? I keep asking this every single time I have a live stream, because this is what women do. We fill everyone else's cup before our own, and then we're so empty and so drained. Guess what happens? Stress happens, and stress removes the joys of life. Another thing that will affect your symptoms, and this is also something that doctors don't talk about, is actually your relationships. Think about it. Our emotional well-being is affected by what? Stress. And what does stress do to our cortisol? It raises it. And when our cortisol level is stressed, Our body is trying to tell us that, hey, something is not okay, you need to change something, and it creates those symptoms of hot flashes, of brain fog, of constant fatigue, and so much more. So it's not only estrogen and progesterone that affect our fat storage, that weight gain that a lot of women get during perimenopause and menopause. It also affects our dopamine level and serotonin levels. And these are the happy hormones, right? It makes us vulnerable to depression, anxiety, feeling lost and weak, not being able to set boundaries. A client of mine told me that her first symptom in perimenopause was anxiety. And I told her that actually it was one of my first one as well, because I constantly had heart palpitations. I was constantly anxious. I was going crazy. I went to the doctor and I told the doctor, hey, I think I am in perimenopause. She looks at me and says, yeah, you're too young. I was 41 years old. And I already knew what was happening to me because my mom went through a crazy menopause state. My grandmother did this as well, and they were talking about it. So I was prepared. And I also started to do a little bit of my own research. And I'm like, actually, the way that I'm feeling, it's not normal. It has to be linked to something. And the missing link there for me was perimenopause. And having that doctor saying to me that it's all in my head, it even frustrated me more. And this is where I decided to take control over my life. This is where I decided to do my research, to finally take that step into helping more women, more clients, doing that menopause coach certification, to be able to do it for myself, but also for you right here, right now, in a holistic way. Because I didn't want to go into hormone therapy. I didn't want to go for a patch or a cream. And I know that a lot of women do, but they also do it without taking care of their natural path first. And this is why, my friend, I am here to tell you that your inner journey is one of the most important journeys in this transition. Start dating yourselves. Yes, take yourself out on dates. Do things for yourself. Prioritize your need and set core values. Start setting boundaries for people. We need to date ourselves. We need to prioritize our own needs, and we need to set core values so that you actually can find self-love and self-acceptance during the most emotional phase of your body. And I know that a lot of women are also scared of aging. I'm here to tell you that aging is a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, and it can be a gorgeous transition. You don't have to compete with 20-year-olds. And let's be honest, do you want to be 20 again? Or are you actually happy about the wisdom that you have acquired during these years of your life? I want to be energetic. I want to be able to live my life fully. And I can still do that because I finally learned how to take care of my body fully in a holistic and natural way that is its natural path. So I'm going to ask you again, are you tired of feeling this way that you're not in control? Are you tired of going through everything that you're going in perimenopause and menopause? Would you want to get rid of your symptoms without expensive medication, HRT, or crazy workouts? I know that I did, and this is why I took that step. Would you like to start living your life to the fullest as you once were? I'm going to say it here, not as you once were, but actually how you can be. Because as your life creator, you are your life creator. You can create that life for yourself. Would you like to be full of energy? sleep through the night like a baby without feeling crappy the following day, because we know how lack of sleep affects us. Let's be honest about that. It's not fun, is it? And would you like it to be as fast as possible? For example, in 90 days, like the method I said that I am showing you right here, right now. If you implement the changes, it will happen in 90 days or less. Who here feels a little bit overwhelmed with all of the information? Because it's a lot of information, isn't it? And it's a short amount of time also to give you all of this information. And I understand. Who here wants to stop feeling all of these symptoms? And who here wants to get rid of them as fast as possible? I know that I was there and I really wanted to get rid of it as fast as possible. I didn't want to feel like that anymore. And who here just feels that the method that I shared would actually work for you, right? Because in the end, I'm not prescribing you a pill. You don't have to wait for it to work. I'm actually prescribing you a natural way of living. So if the answer is yes, or me, I actually have a special offer for you. And I want you to know that only today, and today only, I will give you the possibility of booking in a one-on-one call with my partner, who is also specialized in this, to see where exactly you are at the moment and how we can support the best throughout your journey. And investment, $0. The only thing that you're investing is your time, my friend, and you are worth the time. What do you have to lose to know how you can be supported throughout this transition in your life? So the only thing here, you will get an opportunity to create an action plan together with my partner and explore if maybe getting help with this is exactly what you need. In either case, we don't want you to walk away from this little mini masterclass not knowing what to do. So having that support can make the big difference. So if this makes you excited and you still haven't booked in that one-on-one call, press on the link in the chat. That is the link to book that one-on-one call completely for free, to get an action plan, to see where you are in your perimenopause or your menopause journey, and to see how we can support you in the best possible way. And once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, to learn about how to take action on changing your life. And remember, the change starts right here, right now. What do you have to lose? Jump on that call, see what action plan can be created for you, and let's dive in and see how we can thrive through this transition in our life. Thank you so much, my friends, for tuning in. I hope that you like it, and I wish you a fulfilling and transformative period ahead. Yes. All right, this method that I shared with you, my friends, I went through all of those stages. As I mentioned, where I went to the doctor, I was misunderstood. They didn't want to take me seriously. They didn't even want to do a hormonal check, right? They just wanted to check my blood and that was it. And what I didn't tell you is that the doctor actually wanted to prescribe me ADHD medication. And I told her, like, I'm telling you that I'm anxious. I'm telling you that I have low energy. I'm telling you that I've always been eating healthy. I'm telling you that I'm a master trainer for a fitness program. I'm telling you that I exercise. I'm telling you all of these things. And you want to prescribe me an ADHD medication? And you know what? With all of the research that I've been doing throughout the years, this is what the medical system is doing now, because the doctors are not taught about what happens in perimenopause and menopause. And it's so sad, but we are getting there slowly but surely. And there is more and more research brought up about these topics. There are amazing people out there who are female doctors, a brain scientist actually that does a lot of research about this. So more and more things are happening, but I don't understand how the medical system doesn't tell us to just go back to your natural path. Follow your natural path and learn to balance your hormones. When you do that, it will all go away and the transition will be smooth. Because in the end, we're not supposed to be treated like we're malfunctioning. Menopause is not a disease. But if your body is screaming to you with all of these symptoms saying, hey, something's not right. Here, have a hot flash. Here, have a mood swing. Here, have this and that. Then it's time for you now to listen. And you're not going to be able to fix it with a quick fix like a pill or a patch. No, go back to your natural path. So if this masterclass resonated with you, share it with friends, bring in friends into the group, right? We're here to support women. We're here to inspire. We're here to grow together. So let's go through this together. Thank you so much, friends, for joining in today. Ciao for now. Book in that action call. Let's talk. Kisses. Bye.